had a mystery on our hands this week. The scholars in this room are the crew of the mighty ship, the Envisioner. While in search of an ancient treasure, we were marooned on an island and a part of our navigation map went missing. Of the entire crew, we considered 4 suspects. Today you will hear the evidence collected against Dr. Smart and Shipwright Neff. Today you will learn how to put on a splint in an emergency. When people get injured, they may need a splint to secure the bone properly. People on the ship got injured after a storm, and Dr. Smart checked for injuries, and many had fractured or sprained limbs. We had extra splints on the ship's clinic, but we had to practice treating the crew. My coworker will now show you how to apply an arm splint.
First, you have to roll out the splint, and then you want to fold it in half, and then you have to put your arm out like this. Then I put it like this, and fold it out to about your palm. And you have to keep this arm supported. And then you just wrap. And make sure when you wrap, you wrap extremely tight. You have to wrap extremely, or else it may not work the right way.
And that's how you put on a splint. Thank you for watching How to Put on a Splint.
To learn how to build a model lung, to learn how to help a patient his lung collapse. Dr. Smart knew this because his patient was looking very lethargic. The symptoms including shortness of breath, wheezing, and accelerated heart rate.
In our model lung, we inserted a straw into the hole at the bottom of a cup, then wrapped a balloon and a rubber band around the straw. Then we stretched another balloon around the top of the cup and pulled it to make the inner balloon inflate, and let go to have the inner balloon deflate.
We programmed this MBOT to find Neff and Young stranded on a part of the island that humans couldn't reach. There was also rocky terrain and venomous snakes. We had to program the MBOT to find the missing crew with the map that Potter made for them.
Building the MBOTs was challenging because there was a lot of problems, like putting motors backwards, parts falling off, and malfunctioning. But it was still fun. We used an app called MBlocky and trained our robots to follow a map that Potter made.
This is the map that we used.
We had to build this truss bridge because when the crew was sleeping one night, some parts of the island flooded. Sadly, food was running low from the shipwreck, and the food was on the other side of the island. So we had to program the MBOT to go and get the food from the other side of the island.
We had 19 straws each and paper clips. We bent the paper clips to fit in the straws so they would stay together. We used a cardboard ground and set each end on a different desk so the middle wasn't touching anything.
We will show you how the MBOT works now. So I went to go retrieve the food, and then I brought it back.
We learned about the heart and cardiovascular system to help Dr. Smart treat patients on the ship. They were highly fatigued and were unable to work.
Before we dissected the cow heart, we had a very intriguing lesson on the cardiovascular system. Me and Dr. Smart learned that the blood comes into the heart through the right atrium and then the right ventricle. Then it leaves the heart to the aorta to be cleaned in the lungs. Then the blood re-enters the heart to the pulmonary vein into the left atrium and then the left ventricle to be released throughout the body. The dissection's main purpose was so that we could see the whole thing in person and know what we were learning and where it was placed in a real heart.
When Young was kidnapped, she got bit by a snake. She met with Dr. Smart and told him that Neff kidnapped her. Dr. Smart told her that she was bit by a neotoxic snake, causing her memory loss. During our investigation with lemon juice and milk, we saw a fake reaction. The reaction was from a hemotoxic snake. Also, Young's description showed that the snake was bitten by was 22.7 feet long, and its bite caused swelling. And as you can see, the lemon juice and milk is super thick and gross.
We did this experiment because in the second captain's log, the captain woke up and saw the crime scene, and one of the clues in the crime scene was blood splatters. Then in the fifth captain's log, we had to analyze the blood splatters to compare crime scenes.
We dropped the blood splatters from 12, 30, and 66 inches. We measured the diameters of the blood splatters to see who they matched. We figured out that the farther you are, the bigger the blood splatters can get. And the 30-inch matched where Neff was cut. This one. This is the blood splatters. We compared this to the ones in the cabinet.
We were trying to solve the case of the missing map. When the captain woke up, he found a white powder on the floor. The mystery powder was the closest to cornstarch after investigation. We know that because we had baking soda, cornstarch, cream of tartar, and a mystery powder. We had vinegar, lutein, and water, and we put 6 to 8 drops of each in each powder. Then we tested the results to see which powder was the closest reaction to the product of the mystery powder. Later on, we found out the cornstarch was given to Neff from Dr. Smart for his burn. We did pH testing and found out that it was safe for his skin.
I had to find Neff's accomplice, so I took the cup that the captain found and took fingerprints. They didn't have any fingerprint powder, so I used cocoa powder. When I got the print, I compared the print to the crewmates' prints. The print had loops, which only 2 crewmates had loops. Dr. Smart and Howard Potter. The exact print matched Dr. Smart's print. Based on all the evidence our STEM group has submitted, we believe that Dr. Smart and Shipwright Neff are guilty of stealing the ancient map.